There's a version of wellness that feels very loud. It comes with routines, rules, checklists, what time you should wake up, how you should move your body, what you should eat, how you can optimize your day. And somewhere along the way, taking care of ourselves started to feel like another thing to get right. But the more I've slowed down, the more I've realized that wellness, at least to me, isn't about getting it right. It's about listening to what my body needs that day, whether that's movement or rest. So in this episode, I wanted to share what wellness looks like in my life up in the Scottish Highlands, without rules and without trends and without trying to optimize every single moment. Just simple things, moving gently, nourishing food and resting without guilt. Not because a routine told me to, but just because it felt right. What a strange way to intro this vlog. Just thought I would switch it up by starting sitting on the table. Can you tell I'm getting like, I don't know what to do with these videos anymore. Wellness. Let me just do the biggest disclaimer ever before we get into this. When I say wellness, I am talking about how we are feeling from the inside, not how we are looking on the outside. Like, the goal is to feel good, not necessarily to look good, although I do think when you feel good, you radiate, and that classic positively glowing kind of vibe. So it comes hand in hand, but it's not what the focus is, you know? So if that's your goal, this is not the kind of wellness video I'm discussing. I hate seeing those kind of videos on social media personally, so I thought I would try and add a more positive, gentle take on wellness on my own socials. Because my feed, I thought we were over this, like, you know, that way when you think it's just a trend and it's done and everyone kind of like cancels it, the whole like really unrealistic 6 a.m. routine, green juices and running marathons like before work. We're not over it. It still consumes my feed. So I just thought, yeah, let me show you what wellness looks like to me up here without all of those rules, the strictness, and just taking the pressure off, because to me the biggest thing about wellness is that it should be like all these little rituals and routines and different things that you do, habits, should be effortless, easy, like flowing, and just, yeah, like, I can't even explain the anxiety it gives me thinking about like the pressures that I used to put myself under and thinking that that was what wellness was. Like, that was not wellness. So anyways, hopefully this can help you guys. It's very chilled and it honestly changes for me all the time. I would love to sit here and preach that I do all these things I'm going to share with you all the time, but life is busy and life takes over, and so it's just about finding little pockets of peace and bits to like implement these things where and when I can, basically. I've just been reading my Kindle this morning, still loving the Kindle, by the way. Big fan. I've been reading The Teacher, which is by, is it Frida McFadden? No, Frida McFadden? That's rolling off the tongue, but I don't know if that's her name. The woman who wrote The Housemaid, which is the film that just came out recently. And I was just reading The Teacher. It's not like anything to write home about, but it's super easy to read and just like engross myself in. I don't know, it's just quite, I like those kind of books sometimes. Like, I wouldn't say that my brain is gaining much from it, but it's a nice read. Well, it's not a nice read actually. That's maybe the wrong word, but yeah, I'm enjoying it. I think I'll whiz through it pretty quickly, which I'm liking. I'm kind of in one of these moods where I want to like bosh out so many books right now because I'm just loving it, and it's like quite addictive. Anyways, that's just doing something for my mind in the morning that's not going on my screen, because as easy as it is to preach it, and I do try and say not to go on screens and stuff, it's so hard, especially when it's your job. Like, first thing I do, going on and checking my phone, it ends in disaster, because then I get engrossed in all the things I have to do work-wise that I end up just not having like any time for myself in the morning, and I just jump straight into the real world, and I hate that, and the difference it has on my mental health and my wellness when I don't go on a screen in the morning is insane. And I thought this was common knowledge. And then I was speaking to someone on a trip. It was a brand trip. I was speaking to someone about it and they were like, oh, that's a really good idea. I'm going to try that. I'm like, have you never thought of that before? So anyways, just thought maybe it's pointing out the obvious. Don't go on your screen in the morning. But I really don't think it is a good idea. It's just habit. And you've been asleep for like 7-8 hours, I hope. An extra 20 minutes before you go on your phone, you're not going to miss out on anything. Do you know what I mean? It's great. I love it. And I think it sets you up really well for the day. And as well as that, I've also been doing journaling, which I've not done in ages. And it's so good to be back. I have actually been doing it most mornings and definitely every evening. It helps my brain switch off. I've been feeling really overwhelmed recently, and just like with work bits, personal life things, just feeling like I need to do so much. Getting everything out of my head and onto a piece of paper puts everything into perspective, and you're like, okay, it's not that deep and you can deal with it tomorrow. Like, I always get stressed that I'm going to forget the things that I have in my head by the next morning. So knowing it's on the paper and I don't need to think about it again is great. So I've got 2 journals on the go. Well, no, 3 technically on the go at the moment. I've only seen one of them here. Oh, my other polka dot one's over there. That one is for, like what I said, brain dumping all the things I need to do. It's for to-do lists, all of that kind of stuff. And then separately, I've got another notebook, which is more for like positive affirmations, checking in with how I'm actually like feeling, what I want today to feel like. I will actually put some journal prompts on the screen because I think when you've not been in the flow of it for a while, you kind of lose, like, I don't know, you forget what to write. And even though you can write whatever you want, no one else is going to see it. For some reason, it's sometimes like a wee bit of a blocker. So some easy journal prompts to kick you off. I also think, like, not lower your expectation. That's not what I'm trying to say. But if you, like, don't make it a big task. It's not a big deal. Like, genuinely could take like a minute. It could take a minute and you just write down 3 ways that you want to feel today, or 3 things you want to do, or whatever it is, or like just like a wee mantra to follow for the day. Whatever it is, you don't need to be doing it for a while. Like in the mornings especially, I'd say I journal longer in the evenings, but in the mornings it's like 5 minutes. 5 minutes. It's nothing. It's effortless. It's easy. See the vibe? And the same with the reading. Like, this book specifically is so great for in the mornings because like some chapters are genuinely like 3 pages long, and some days when I know I've got a lot to do, I will genuinely read like 1 or 2 chapters. So I'm not even doing it for that long. It doesn't need to be a big thing. The last thing that I love to do in the morning to set me up for a good day, again, doesn't need to be a huge thing, is just move your body. And I know a lot of people's minds will be like, oh, but I can't be bothered going to the gym at 6 a.m. Neither can I. You won't catch me there. I won't be there. That's not what I'm meaning. Just like stretch, loosen up, go for a 10-minute walk. Although that seems like a bigger deal. I get that. Like, do whatever suits your schedule and stuff. I do feel like it's easier said than done. And in winter, I am so much worse for following through with these little promises. But then when I do them and I get into the flow and the routine of just doing them every day without thinking, the difference it makes is insane. Like insane. I do find it so much easier in summer though, when the mornings are lighter and stuff like that. So yeah, even implementing 1 or 2 of those little things in the morning, I would say movement is probably the thing that gets least priority for me, especially because I'll probably end up doing some form of movement later on in the day. But saying that, I notice such a difference because I think your body holds so much like tension and stuff, you know? It's just good to release that first thing, and it just sets me up so well. So that's the morning. That's kind of what you missed from me. I didn't do the movement part today. I am about to go out right now on a wee walk. It is so sunny. It's like, yeah, it's genuinely put me in the best mood ever. I feel like this is such a good day to start the wellness ep because vibrations are high. I'm feeling really good. Gonna get changed and just go and get some fresh air. Might just walk down the garden or along the road a little bit. before getting into some tasks. But let's get changed and go for a wee walk. Get some fresh air and see what we can spot outside. Yeah. Is so peaceful. There's no one else on the beach and the sun is completely out. It's absolutely stunning. I'm so glad my mum and dad came with me. It's actually really nice. A little bit of bonding time. But oh my goodness, you do forget like how good the sun makes you feel. Suddenly all the winter sadness is gone. Can I include that as one of my wellness things? Get some sunshine. Not really a common thing up in the Highlands in winter, but this is like euphoric. Like, this is the best feeling ever. Let me just show you right now. They're so cute. They're just standing there having a wee thinking moment. The river, and over there you can't really see it, but the thing is frozen over, the waterfall, which is crazy. I do think even if the sun's not out though, getting fresh air every day is so good. Like, I literally need it now. I would say that's my number one thing to feeling better. It doesn't even matter if it's pouring, you just need to get waterproofs on. And I've spoken about it a lot recently on my Instagram. I think I did a post about it, but your skin's waterproof. Just go outside, put on a waterproof jacket. It's not going to hurt you. This might be a bit uncomfortable in the rain, but for the feeling it gives your head, I think it's worth it. Yeah, I think also when you're outside, just take a moment to think and not be outside but be distracted. Because I promise, even if you're not good with being in your own thoughts, when you're out and getting fresh air, it can make everything seem a lot clearer. So, yeah. Like these guys are doing. And guys, I literally could cry. It's 10 to 5 right now. It's the next day. If you're looking at the state of my car, just know that things are in the process of being moved right now. That's all I'm going to say. So, excuse the absolute mess and chaos. It is just a bit messy and a bit chaotic. I was going to continue vlogging, and I was really trying to think of other wellness tips or things I could give you guys, but I genuinely don't have any, and I think it's because I don't put the pressure on it. It's kind of just, I don't know, I've gotten to a point where I know what makes me tick and I know what makes me happy, and I just kind of go with that and don't put too much pressure on it, and don't implement too many things. I don't know if that's weird to say, but I just think there's so many different wellness things nowadays, whether it's consumeristic things like the new wellness device. Have you seen those things where people are standing on boards and shaking and stuff like that? And then you've got the nutrition and all of those kind of wellness things, which I've said briefly before, but I really don't want to talk about nutrition on my channel because I'm not educated enough to share proper information about nutrition and stuff like that. And growing up, I definitely whatever people I watched online or social media I consumed, especially if it was a video that was titled wellness, if they were like posting stuff about nutrition and stuff, I feel like I would take that, maybe not as gospel, but like, I don't know, it just definitely had an impact on me, and what I maybe thought was like healthy at the time, now looking back wasn't. And I would hate to have that same impact on someone else. So I just like really don't like talking about nutrition online. You will never catch me do what I eat in a day, ever, because everyone's so different, and what I need to fuel my body is going to be different to you, and what I enjoy is going to be different from you. Like, I don't eat things that I don't enjoy. Do you know what I mean? I eat things that, yes, are good for me. I do try and eat things that are good for me with balance, obviously, but I don't eat anything I don't enjoy, and that's going to be different for everyone. So I just think it's a really personal thing, and it's not something that I'm happy to share myself. But obviously that's a big part of wellness, and that was kind of the only other thing that I could think of showing you guys. So I'm just going to cut it here. I guess I think the main message that I wanted you to take away from this anyways is that wellness for me isn't strict. There's not really like those rules attached that you always see on social media and stuff. I prefer to make it really like easy, effortless, flowing, tiny rituals that don't take up a lot of my day, or implement like little things like into my day, rather than it being this overwhelming life change of like suddenly I'm going to be a wellness girl. I don't know. Does that make sense? And it's ever changing day to day, especially being self-employed. I don't have like a very structured week. Every week looks different. Every day looks different. And so I have learned to bend and become more flexible, which has been the best thing ever for me, because I used to put so much pressure on myself to do X, Y, and Z and do these different routines, and you know what, that just doesn't work all the time. And learning to bend and be flexible and go with the flow and take that pressure off was like the best thing that I could do for my own well-being. So in a sense, that's like the wellness for me, is just taking that pressure off, being kind to yourself. That is the most important thing. Like, at the end of the day, are we not all doing this to feel our best? So don't do anything that's going to make you incredibly anxious or stressed or put strain on yourself. Obviously, there's balance to be had everywhere. Like, you need some form of discipline. Not every day do you want to do certain things, but it's kind of knowing what's going to make you feel so much better for doing it, and what's actually just like you're pushing it here, and do you know what I mean? Like, you just need to find your own balance, and it's different for everyone because everyone's lifestyle is different. Like, if someone has a day off, they're gonna have way more like A, time, B, energy, like, do you know what I mean? All these factors. And so yeah, that's why I just think, do not compare yourself to other people's wellness lifestyles online. Removing myself from that was like the best thing ever. I will not watch any wellness related videos. I love watching things to do with like well-being in a certain way, but not the, you know what I'm trying to talk, like, you know, the kind of videos I'm referring to that I'm skipping here. It's the ones that just stress me out when I see them, the ones that make me feel bad and make me feel like I'm not doing enough. Then I'm like, okay, no, this is not what I'm trying to consume here, you know? So yeah, that's all I got on wellness. Take it easy. That's like this. I don't know why it's breaking out into song. It's not a musical. But yeah, that's like the song that's kind of playing through my head throughout this theme. Just take it easy. All right. Love you guys. Next week's episode is all about nature, connecting with nature and stuff, which is obviously very much like a huge part of my lifestyle up here, and actually a huge part of our culture to connect with the land and stuff like that. So happy, excited to do that one. I love yous and leave yous. If you haven't already subscribed, it would mean the world to me. Really, really loving YouTube and just really wanting to like, I don't know, devote so much more energy and time into it this year. But obviously social media is my full-time job, so to do that I need to justify it. It would be nice to know that people are actually interested, because it's definitely my smallest platform by like a mile. my camera just switched off, and I think that was my sign to shut up. Also, I've just, because I can't really see in my camera because the screen's really small, and now I'm holding my phone up. That's awful. I'm really sorry about that. And my jacket is so dirty. Oh, this is not the picture of wellness right now. A wee bit embarrassed, but keeping it real. Yeah, I think I'll just cut the spiel there. But basically, any support on these videos is greatly appreciated. Okay, I love you guys so much. I'll see you next week. Bye.